My parents gave me up for adoption because they were still in high school when they had me 24 years later. I found them. Part 3. He told me I don't have to keep them if I don't want to, but he felt weird not coming with anything, and he's wanted to give this to me for a long time. One was a teddy bear holding a picture frame of him at the hospital. Holding me, he was 15 years old. It's still crazy to realize that the other thing was a journal. The journal thing was stuff. He said he started writing to me years after I was adopted. He was in therapy, and that helped him cope, thinking he would give them to me one day, his way of still feeling connected to me. I haven't read everything yet, but some of the pages were his thoughts, and as if he was talking directly to me, how he felt when they found out she was pregnant. Then the adoption. Everything going on in his mind when he first got to hold me as a baby. I didn't even know he was at the hospital too. It was not what I was expecting. It really got me. I read some more of what he wrote last night that really got me crying. I'm sad to think how much this affected them emotionally for years. Also, I think it's pretty sweet. He wanted to write this for me. We talked about his own life, which was pretty hard, his struggles with home life and the feelings he had about giving me up. Then he wanted to know everything about me, basically, with the same question my biomom had. I made sure they knew they made the right decision. Because my life was pretty great. He looked like he wanted to cry when he knew that, because that's all they hoped for, and it was something he always wondered about for years. My biomom left a bit after we were more comfortable, so we could talk more in private, once it didn't feel too awkward between us. From there, he told me stories about how he met my biomom. Sometimes he'd point out stuff he noticed about me that reminds him of her or me, and him having similar likes. My bio-dad was really open about sharing everything, like he really was getting ready for this meeting. He hoped it would happen and prayed every day to see me again because he had so many things he wanted to tell me overall. A really good first meeting. I'm glad how it went. He's open to the idea of meeting my parents after I told them about all this, because they definitely want to meet my bio parents again if I'm comfortable with that. Obviously, if my bio parents are too, let's see when that happens. I don't know how it's going to feel for me. They've met each other before I was even born, but I never had them in the same place. So that'll be interesting. Me and my parents met up yesterday to have breakfast so I could tell them everything. My mum was so happy about how it went. She actually cried too when I was telling them about both their reactions. My dad was proud because he knew how hard it was in the months after finding my biomom and not really wanting to make contact. Yet I'm really happy to have their support because it's hard not to feel guilty about wanting to know more about my bio parents. They gave me a really good life. So for a while it felt like maybe to them I was showing that it wasn't good enough for me, and I'd rather have my bio parents, but they told me many times they want me to do this for myself, and they know how much I love them. And I really do. Finding them and meeting them was hard, but it was so worth it to me. And seeing their reactions made it feel even more worth it. I still can't believe it sometimes.